Hello, I'm Jane Mott, a makeup artist and beauty coach, and I specialise in helping ladies over 50 look and feel better about themselves, look younger, feel energised and more confident. And today I want to talk to you about skincare essentials. I started in the beauty industry 30 years ago, and back then skincare had 3 steps: to cleanse, tone and moisturise. Over the years of being in the industry, this has increased to 5, and we cleanse, tone, exfoliate, moisturize, and protect. And by protect, we need to use a broad spectrum SPF protection for UVA and UVB. And this is as per the British Skin Foundation's advice. And they recommend we wear a broad spectrum SPF every day, even in winter. Because even if you're sat in a conservatory or coffee shop having a coffee with friends, winter sunlight coming through the window can still affect and damage your skin. So let me start by asking you, did you know that only 20% of visible skin aging comes from the natural aging process? And whether we're 17 or 70, we all want our skin to look and feel great. So that means the rest of the skin aging process comes from skin stressors that we face just living our everyday lives. Skin stressors are everywhere and can actually speed up the aging process, which can lead to the look of premature skin aging. If you use a good skincare regime that covers the essentials every day, then even if you start in your 20s, in your 30s, you will have better skin than someone who hasn't. I have used a good skincare regime since I was about 20. I first really got into sort of beauty and skincare and became a bit of an addict, if I'm serious. Hence, I've moved my career into it when I was about 17. So I've used good skincare products and created a daily routine that I've used since I was 20, and I'm now 53. So when I got into my 30s, people were telling me my skin looked great. And got into my 40s, people are like, oh wow, you don't look your age. And even now, when I tell people I'm 53, I quite often said, oh, I would have put you 10 years younger. And I even had a lady recently say to me she thought I was 27. That was an older lady, and I think she must have meant 37, but she said 27, which was very kind of her. So what are the skin stressors that affect us just from the environment and our lifestyles? So there's UV rays in the atmosphere that I've spoken about. There's air pollution. We've got smog, car exhaust, soot, and environmental stressors. So all these are everyday stressors that are just in our environment. There are also lifestyle stressors, things like just general stress, sleep loss, smoking, and our diets. So we are what we eat. So if you have a healthy, balanced diet, that is reflected in your skin. Our bodies are 80% water, so it is important to hydrate from within, and that includes drinking lots of fresh water every day. Quite often, as humans, we are prone to feel hungry and we go and eat something. And quite often, what we really need to do is have a glass of water. We're actually dehydrated. A great way of seeing if you're hydrated enough is to look at your fingertips. You know, when you have a bath and your fingertips go wrinkly and prunified when you've been in the bath too long. Equally, if you're dehydrated, and actually I am a little bit at the moment, so if I can just, where's the camera? I've got a couple of little dents in my fingertips, so I am slightly dehydrated, which actually, it's almost lunchtime, and I normally by now would have drunk about 500 to 700 mils of water, and today I haven't. So how do we combat aging process with essential skincare? We want to cleanse morning and evening. In the morning, we want to use a cleanser to cleanse our skin, because a cleanser includes an emulsifier that will mix the oil and water on the surface of our skin together and help us then rinse it away. If we just splash our face with water, oil and water don't mix, so any sebum and grease that's been produced overnight, we are not cleaning off our skin. Water on its own is only 65% efficient to clean the face. So we need to use a cleanser because that contains the emulsifier that is going to help cleanse our face. Overnight, our head has been resting on our pillowcase, as has our hair. So any hair products, any grease in our hair is rubbed onto the pillowcase that then can be transferred to our skin, as well as our skin will obviously buff against the pillowcase. So then any dead skin cells and sebum transfer to the pillowcase, but can also transfer back to our skin. If you have problematic skin, if you're prone to acne or sensitive skin like rosacea or eczema or psoriasis, look at your pillowcase. Cotton pillowcases are lovely, but cotton fibers are slightly rough. So they will actually they're rough against the skin, which can irritate sensitive skin. And also if you've got fine hair that's prone to frizz, it will fluff up the cuticle so that your hair doesn't sit smoothly. So if you think of the cuticle of your hair like tiles on a roof or fish scales, it will fluff them up. So a silk or satin pillowcase is much smoother. It's shinier surface, so it doesn't absorb moisture from our skin and our hair because the fibers are much finer and tightly packed. And it also is not going to buff the skin or irritate the skin or fluff up the cuticle. A few years ago, I swapped my pillowcases to satin because my hair, being fine, the ends were getting really, really fluffy and looking very static. So I swapped to a satin pillowcase. And within 2 or 3 weeks, I noticed I had the added benefit of not suffering from so many breakouts, which is great. So it actually works for your skin and your hair. So that's something to take into consideration. In the evening, we're cleansing to remove the day's pollution, the lifestyle stressors, and our makeup. So it's important to cleanse morning and evening. You will also want to use a freshener or toner because cleansing changes the pH of the skin slightly. The correct pH for our skin, a healthy pH, is acid. So that's pH 7. And cleansers tend to adjust that slightly. So freshening or toning will bring it back to its correct pH. Many cleansers now include a freshener. For example, the Mary Kay 4-in-1 cleanser cleanses. It has tiny NutriBeads in it, which buff the surface of the skin. So it gives a gentle exfoliation, gently exfoliates the skin. And those beads then burst to release the freshener. So a lot of products now are multi-purposed, which is great. We've got busy lifestyles and we want to save time. You also will find if you're using a bar cleanser, so like a bar of soap, but a facial cleanser, then in order to make them into a bar, it needs to contain an alkaline. Now, an alkaline is drying on the skin. So Dove beauty products very carefully added a quarter moisturization into their beauty bar, thereby combating the dryness of the alkaline. So just be aware that if you're using a cleansing bar, that's alkaline and the correct pH of your face is acid. So a toner or freshener will help bring it back to the correct pH. Then we want to use the correct moisturizer. During the day, we want our moisturizer to be able to help protect us from smog and pollution and UVA. So we want a broad spectrum SPF included in our moisturizer that will protect against UVA and UVB. So we've got the UV stands for ultraviolet, and the A is ultraviolet aging, and the UVB is ultraviolet burning. So we want a broad spectrum, preferably mineral-based SPF that protects against UVA and UVB. Exfoliation should be done twice a week. So I tell all my ladies and all my clients that they should exfoliate on Wednesday and Sunday evenings. By saying Wednesday and Sunday evenings, you just have to remember whether it's Wednesday or Sunday evening. You don't have to remember the last time you exfoliated because you don't want to do it 2 days in a row. So by exfoliating, we're going to lift any dead skin cells and invisible particles from the surface of our skin. And then when we use our moisturizer, it's going to be able to go straight into the epidermis and the dermis and take its active ingredients where it's needed. So I've said about using a day moisturizer in the morning. At night, our bodies slow down. So the energy it produces that is usually used during the day to work on or maintain our lungs, heart, stomach, kidneys, they all go into a rest period overnight and slow down. But the body makes the same amount of energy. So that energy is available for our extremities. Our biggest extremity is our skin that covers us from head to toe. So during the night, our skin renewal process speeds up. So it's important to use a night cream that contains the right antioxidants, peptides, green tea, ingredients that are going to help that cell renewal process. And so then it's important to cleanse off the remnants or that are on the surface of the skin in the morning from that overnight generation. So we want to feed the skin, I think is the correct, and protect that barrier overnight so it can do its best work and it works alongside the cell renewal. So we've covered cleansing twice a day, using a freshener where appropriate. You may have that built into your cleansing step. There are also acid toners available that help to exfoliate the skin and tone in the same process. These are great to use at night. I would not recommend using them in the morning because they do thin the skin, which makes you more sensitive to UVA and UVB during the day. So I would keep your acid products, your retinols and your acid toners for using in the evening. But if you are using an acid exfoliant and you're using that daily, you won't necessarily need to exfoliate twice a week on Wednesday and Sunday because that's already combined within your toning step. Freshener, toner, same step. So we've covered cleansing, we've covered day and evening moisturizing, we've covered toning, and we've covered your exfoliating, and I've explained about UV. So they are the 5 things we want to cleanse, tone, exfoliate, moisturize, and protect with SPF. So there are 5 essential steps that you should be doing every day, daily, whether you're using combined products or individual products to create your regime. If you need help choosing the right products for your skincare regime, please do contact me. I'm happy to help, and I'm happy to share my 30 years of experience with you and all the tips and tricks I've learned during that time. It is my passion to share simple tips and techniques that you can use daily to help you look younger, feel energized, and more confident. I'm Jane Mott, makeup artist and beauty coach. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and goodbye.